Shoot. Great. Sorry about that. We're experiencing some technical difficulties, and we will be with you one video with Miss Ellis. I'm just going to bring this screen back up. Just give me 1 second.
Sorry about that. I'm hoping we could bring her video back up. I'm not quite sure what happened with that, but we still have her video here, and I'm hoping we'll be able to play it. That's the first time that's ever happened. We've played lots of videos before, but for some reason, that particular time, it just did not want to do what it wanted to do. We'll try it once again to see. We're just going to bring it in because it's just an amazing video of Miss Ellis. And so I would like you guys to get an opportunity to listen to her. Her music. Okay, here we go. So let's see. It's spinning.
Yeah. And when you're not around, my smile can't be found, and it's driving me crazy. Everything I've ever wanted, that's what you are to me, baby. And when you're not around, my smile can't be found, and it's driving me crazy. Baby, it's clear to me that somehow, some way, you gotta find your way to me somehow. Cause when you're around, I like to touch the sky somewhere. Walking hand in hand together as we live out our dreams, baby. And when you pull me close, I know that our love means everything to me. It's clear to me that somehow, some way, you gotta find your way to me somehow. Cause when you're around, I like to touch the sky somewhere. The moon and the stars, they come out to play. When you're coming, coming, coming. When you're coming my way. When you're coming my way, baby. You got me high, I feel like I fly. When you're here with me, baby, I need you right.
Hey, Miss Ellis, sorry about that. I gotta get the camera rolling over here. I'm just switching places really quick.
Okay.
And we're just going to get the camera rolling. I'm not sure what happened. That's on my other computer. So my background's going to look totally different over here. Actually, I'm going to stay over there, but the background's going to look totally different. But we're going to go ahead and get started
Okay.
because I am not sure why that's all happening. But thank you so much. I'm really excited about having you here. And I'm going to bring you up and I'll talk to you until I take care of the problems, the issues with that particular, what's going on over there. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay, now I can't hear you.
All right. Okay. Sorry. It's muted. All right. So you go ahead and do your thing. And we're just going to enjoy you. And I'm going to go ahead and see what's going on over there. And I'm just going to let you guys enjoy Miss Ellis because she is amazing songstress. And so let's, Miss Tracye Eileen.
Tracye Eileen.
Eileen, you know what? Tracye Eileen, I'm sorry.
That's all right, Louise.
Miss Tracye Eileen. Normally Tracye is a lot better. I just want you to know that. Miss Tracye Eileen. Eileen. Here we go. People, enjoy her.
All right. So I guess what we'll do, how about we do a tune? How about I'm going to do that song from that video, but before we do that, I wanted to do another one for you because I already got that queued up. But you can. It is an awesome video, though. It was directed by Mr. Ali Leroy, who is an Emmy Award-winning director, but he also is from Chicago. We went to high school together, so he was kind enough to, you may know him, he was the producer and writer for Everybody Hates Chris and a bunch of other stuff. So, and you can catch it on YouTube on the Tracye Eileen YouTube channel. But what we're gonna do, and first, thank you, Louise, for having me as your guest on the show. and I'm excited to be here. And I'm going to do for you one of my favorite tunes. And it's actually among my own original music, except this isn't my original music, but it's among some of my favorite tunes. It's a tune written by Michael Franks, and it's called Tell Me All About It. Love, when we touch our shiver, just body language, can you blame it? My love's like a raging river, and I think you're the one to tame it. You're the quiet, shy type. You always whisper, never shout it. Ooh, baby, you are my type. Why don't you tell me all about it? I got ways to make you tell me all about it. That's what I'm gonna do. Till you tell me all about it. Making love till do. Till you tell me all about it. Me, I'm a lousy loner. Just call my number, come be near me. Me, I'm a soulful moaner. Stay chez-moi so you can hear me. You're the quiet, shy type. You always whisper, never shout it. Ooh, baby, you are my type. Why don't you tell me all about it? I got ways to make you tell me all about it. That's what I'm gonna do. Till you tell me all about it. Making love till you do. Till you tell me all about it. I got some special ways to make you tell me all about it, baby. I got some special ways. I got some special ways to make you tell me all about it, baby. Tell me. I got some special ways to make you tell me all about it, babe. Tell me all about it, babe. Tell me all about it, babe. Tell me all about it, baby. So that was one of my favorite tunes. Again, a tune written by Michael Franks, and that version was done by Natalie Cole. So
I'm back.
You're back.
Well, yes, I'm back. Hold on a second. I'm gonna
All right.
come over here and turn myself off. I still get it's wonderful because I still got the chance to watch you because I have you on things. And so that's the cool part about being able to. So when I was going out, I have no idea why I kept going out. And I'm wondering if, but I've done that same thing before. So it's kind of weird. So sorry about that. You have an absolutely amazing voice, beautiful voice. And I met you in Chicago some years ago, never heard you, and then friended you, and then got a chance to really experience what you do. I think at the time I met you, you were singing at one of the clubs down there, because you were like, yeah, I'll be performing down at one of the clubs. And I thought that was pretty fantastic, because a lot of times you meet a lot of guy singers, and coming out of Chicago, it must have been quite this, it's like, I always feel like we live in this male dominated society, and especially in the music industry, being able to have to overcome that as a beautiful, not just a beautiful woman, but a beautiful Black woman, and having to take on that sort of mantle of having to, it's almost like starting off behind the 8 ball in a sense, and then having to work your way through all of the muck to get to where you are today. And you and I did talk a little bit on Thursday, but you are just a phenomenal young woman, and just to watch you reach for your goals, continue to fight for your dream is absolutely amazing, because I know when we talk, you actually have a job, a full-time job, and you are still pursuing, where lots of people are just like, I give up, I'm done. But I think it's absolutely amazing that you are in there and doing some phenomenal things. And just through this whole COVID thing, you have definitely, you already had things planned, and you did not hold back and say, well, this is happening. So tell us a little bit about your journey and how you got here.
Well, the journey started.
I can't. Am I? Let me see. Okay, there we go. Go ahead.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
That was
so the journey started. I guess I turned 50 about 9 years ago. And so I just had a birthday. I turned 59. And at that point, I had just gotten divorced. And I said, I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to live the life I want to live versus what I think I should be living. And that's when I decided to go all in pursuing my lifelong dream of singing. And I've always sang, but just never professionally. And so I studied at the Boom School of Jazz, and then I ended up taking a year-long course from going to amateur to professional, performed at a lot of venues around the city, honed the craft, learned the business. And actually on my I celebrated my 50th birthday at the Hollywood Casino, and that was my first professional gig.
Wow.
And everything. I was like, oh. And my band has been with me. I was fortunate enough, the owner of the school really put together my band. And he wanted to manage me. That didn't work out, but my band stayed with me. And we've been together all these years. And I think when we met at the art show.
Harlem Fine Art Show, yeah.
Yes. I have a monthly residency at Buddy Guy's Legends down in Chicago. So and we've been out since COVID, but we'll be back in 2021. So
I think that's the one you were telling me about when I met you, was the Buddy Guy's place.
Yeah. Yes, we're there every second Sunday. And so I actually had planned the release of my 3rd album, and this was my big commercial, all original music release. And about 20 days before my release, everything shut down in the country with COVID. And everybody was freaking out, including me. But my team said, no, wait, this may not be so bad. You won't have as much competition with your music. Everybody's going to be listening because we don't have anything to do. And so I delayed it by about 20 days and released in April. And I think that video that we filmed in LA was the last video, one of the last videos filmed in LA before the shutdown. And they edited it and everything. We had to do everything by phone and computer and so forth. But we dropped the first single and it did very well. And that's when it was on the Pandora R&B playlist, adult playlist, and a bunch of other things. But then I released the second single on the album, Now That We're Here, and that one really took off in the smooth jazz space. And it went to number 2 for a while on the UK soul charts. The album is still on the top 100 smooth jazz charts. It's been there a while. It was charting on a bunch of stuff, and it's being played coast to coast on Billboard stations, iHeart radio stations, all kind of radio stations around the country. So I was really excited about that. And it's interesting you mentioned the thing about women, especially in the smooth jazz space. There's not a lot of singers. It's mostly they're mostly men, and they're mostly musicians that play an instrument. And so I was very fortunate to have Jason Goroff, who's one of the top smooth jazz promoters, to take on my work.
Oh, wow.
And he said, wow, this performed better than I thought it would. so it was a real blessing. And so everything that I wanted to, that was on my vision board. Well, not everything, most of it has happened. I wanted to be an internationally known smooth jazz and soul singer, and that is true. Being played across Europe, even in Japan, and in the country. So as soon as I can get out and tour, this would be really good.
I think it's amazing that you actually decided to pick your mantle up, to kick it, really not pick it up, but kick it up into full gear. At 50 something, I mean, at that age, because that's when a lot of people are like, I'm done. It didn't happen for me. I tried it. But a lot of times what we fail to realize is we try it, but we haven't tried. It's like, the thing is we've tried it, we haven't gone all out. And
I think too, because maybe I was 49 when I started, because I think the first gig, I do remember that being my 50th birthday party, is that at that Hollywood casino. I think I don't know why, but that's your smartest time. You've learned all the stuff. By the time you get there, you're like, okay, I know what's going on now.
Right.
And you have more of the resources to be able to make things happen for yourself. It's much more difficult when you're much younger, because I always wanted to sing, but my plan, I never wanted to be broke, right? So my plan, I would see myself as a starving musician. I'm like, no, that's not me. So not riding the back roads, sleeping on floors, My plan was to go and get my master's degree and go work in finance for CBS Records and kind of get discovered. And how life happens. I don't know what happened. But that was the way it was supposed to go. But everything is in the timing that it should be. So
I so believe in that. I so believe that, because a lot of times, I'll run into people and they're like, man, I'm supposed to be here, and I'm supposed to be here, and I'm supposed to be here. And I said, who said so? Who told you that you're supposed to be in these places in your life at this time? And like you said, a lot of times when you're younger, you don't even have the resources, and then you're struggling. And girl, I'm with you with that whole back riding buses and all of that kind of stuff.
Although I did have friends who, because I was always in the jazz band. I was in the jazz band in high school. I was in the jazz band in college. But a lot of my friends who were musicians and so on, comedians, they went to Hollywood, they went to LA, and they actually did very, very well. So, it happens, but but I know they slept on people's floors too.
Exactly. It's like to get there, and that, and there's nothing wrong with that, because that's what they're, it's like that's what they were willing to put in, and that's what was their dream. But like you said, it's like, I wanted to, because one of the things I always tell young people is, you have to be able to pay for the dream. You got to pay for your craft. So you have to have some kind of backup, not necessarily a backup, but you got to have some funding funneling in. And so a lot of times as artists, and you were one of those artists that said, hey, you know what? I have to have some money to funnel what I really want to do. And to me, it's like, I love that about you, because I'm one of those people, as long as there is breath in your body, you can fulfill your dream. As long as there's breath in your body.
You can. And the thing I think that for me, it's just a lot of, I started my own label. I'm my own artist, Honey Crystal Records, and my own Troy Music Publishing. So I wanted to lay a business foundation, because there's the art and then there's the business, right? A lot of us, most artists don't have both, and I was just fortunate that I could do both. I don't want to do both. I'd like to just be an artist on it, but whatever. And I think that along the way, it's so much to this business, and I just kept trying to learn, and study, and ultimately after my second album, which did well, it was Why Did I Say Yes? I released in 2018. I knew I wanted to be on radio, and I'm still trying to do my music full time. That's still in the goal. It's just I'm almost there. But I do it full time, but I have 2 full-time careers. So it's hard, which means, it doesn't leave a lot of room for a personal life, but it doesn't.
You had that already. You had
I had that, girl. I did that. I'll get back to that in a minute. But so along the way, so I actually started working with a coach, an entertainment coach, and her name is Kenya. And she's also an artist. And she had already achieved what I wanted to do. But you got to have a lot of gigs, side other streams of income, as you know, when you're an artist. And she basically kind of advised me on a lot of stuff, and introduced me to the producer I work with out of Nashville, Kendall Duffy, who's amazing. And we co-wrote all the music for the EP. And that really, having that knowledge, but then I found out how much money it was going to be required as well, and it's a lot, which is why people try to get with labels. So you got to figure it out. Friends and family, like any other business. And the thing is, I think in the industry now, labels are just like when bigger companies buy smaller companies, they want you to build it up to a point to have an audience before they will take you on, oftentimes.
Right. Nowadays, I find that too. I find that a lot nowadays.
Yeah. So, but there's so much change in the industry that the barriers of entry now are low, but it still takes a lot to kind of break, to be heard,
Right. So do you feel that, like, especially with everything going digital, there's a lot of indie artists out there. So do you find that it's a lot, the door is wide open for artists now, whereas it's like, well, I don't necessarily have to attach to a label. I don't have to attach to this, because there's a lot of indie artists out there that are doing really well.
Yeah, I'm an indie artist.
Right.
I own my own label, so I'm definitely an indie artist. Yes, but at the end of the day, it still takes money. However, you're going to make that happen. And the other thing is, because my team in releasing this album, to have a very successful commercial release, I had to have a radio promoter, a PR guy, a producer, a social media person. Then I had to have all this other stuff in terms of collateral pictures and all that. So I had to have photographer, stylist, hair and makeup. So it's a lot. It's quite, then you got to get your video done, and fortunately, I have
Which was a
friend.
beautiful video, by the way.
Thank you.
It's a beautiful video. Yeah.
Thank
So,
you. And so it's a lot. It's way more than it was more than I thought. But that's what it requires. And then the other piece is right now the way most musical artists make their money is through performing, because of the way streaming is right now. And still the industry hasn't quite figured out how to fix that so that the artists really get paid, worth what they're worth as far as the music.
Right. Because, I guess it would be difficult because I know a lot of times when I'm buying music, it's like $1.99 or something like that. And now you have these live streaming platforms where you just get the music for free anyway. And so
and there's a entity that collects revenue from that. I mean, but it's a lot you have to do. You got the copyright club, you got to register with ASCAP, the sound stand, and all these different people to get paid. And that's really typically the work of the label. So you have to do it.
But then as an indie artist, it's like you said, it's like the business end and the art end. And that is, because visual artists have been doing a lot of, you do the visual arts and you do all of your business end, because a lot of artists has had to become those two people. And now it's even more prevalent in the music industry, where the music artists as musicians and singers, they're taking on I have to perform, I have to do this, I have to come up with the music, and then I have to shut that off and come over to this part of it.
Yes. So yes, right. And that's literally how it is. I find myself always shifting brains, like left, right. I'm like, okay, and I'm taking piano lessons now too. So I'm playing the piano, I'm writing music, I'm listening to music, trying to make sure the legal stuff is right, and I'm writing and calling the my producer, and just you're doing everything, and I'm working, talking paper stuff.
And you're working full time. It's like, somebody hurry up and pay for yourself so I can.
You know what I'm saying? Can we just move on? Yeah, but the thing about COVID though is that it hopefully everyone is using that time, because everybody has a passion, whatever that is. And I mean, while we're on lockdown, which I believe we're about to go on lockdown again, I think it's a beautiful time to birth and develop whatever that thing is. And even if you don't know what it is, it's a good time to explore,
find out
what it could be.
Well, I want to take some time so you could sing a little bit. So I want you to come back on and share some more music with us, because I don't want to take a whole lot of time talking, because I love hearing you. Definitely let's get you back in and share some more of that smooth voice with us. Okay.
All right. So I think what we shall do is play a tune that is from my album that's out right now. This tune is called Somehow, Someway. Oops. Okay. Everything I've ever wanted, that's what you are to me, baby. And when you're not around, my smile can't be found, and it's driving me crazy. Baby, it's clear to me that somehow, some way, you gotta find your way to me somehow. 'Cause when you're around, I feel I can touch the sky some way. Walking hand in hand together as we live out our dreams, baby. And when you pull me close, I know that our love means everything to me. It's clear to me that somehow, some way, you gotta find your way to me somehow. 'Cause when you're around, I feel I can touch the sky some way. The moon and the stars, they come out to play when you're coming, 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 when you come my way. Baby, somehow, some way, baby. You got me high, I feel I can fly. When you're here with me, baby, I need you right by my side. It's clear to me that somehow, some way, you gotta find your way to me somehow. 'Cause when you're around, I feel I can touch the sky some way. The moon and the stars, they all come out and play when you're coming my way. Hey, 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 yeah. Would you, baby, come my way? Hey, 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 when you're coming, when you're coming, when you're coming my way, babe. Ooh, you light my fire, baby. Oh, you're my one desire. Hey, hey, yeah. Yeah. Would you, baby, come my way? Oh, when you're coming, when you're coming, when you're coming my way, baby. Ooh. Ooh, I can't hear you, Louise.
Girl, I'm always forgetting to turn my mic on. Because I like to turn it off, because if I have, if I, you know, I don't like to talk in the background, or if something happens, I just want you, I didn't want anything to interrupt your music. I didn't want anything to interrupt you. Have something falling off in the studio and have a big crash or something. So that was beautiful. Now, is that one that you've written?
Yes, on the EP, it's time. All the songs are my original tunes.
Okay.
And you know, so the funny thing about writing these songs. So the first song that I wrote, well, actually it was the second song that I wrote and recorded, but Why Did I Say Yes is the title track of my 2018 album. And that was the first commercial release I did of a tune I wrote. And
I'm not gonna ask what that meant, but
Well, okay, it's in the name. It's in the name, Louise. So, and then and one of my fans at the show, Tracy, I love that song and that stuff you sing, but love can be great too. I'm like, I don't know. So I said, okay. So when I started writing these songs, I'm like, okay, this is gonna be aspirational of the love that I'm pulling towards me that I want. So, and it just kind of worked out that way because that was in my mind, but I co-wrote the tunes with Kendall Duffy. And so he did the music and he would send me the track and he maybe would write the hook or, a couple of verses or something and say, okay, what can you do with that? And so the tunes are like, okay, somehow, some way, you gotta find your way to me somehow, some way. And the next one that's doing very well on the tracks in the UK and in Europe is the single Now That We're Here. Right? So now that we're here, let's go on and do this thing. Yes. So that's what that song is about. And then the last one is Sweeter with Time. And I'll be releasing that single in February. So kind of played out that way, which I thought was kind of cool.
Get off the torch wagon.
Yeah, and it was funny because I was thinking that, but it was interesting how they just all came out. I didn't notice it till I looked back and I was trying to come up with the name of the album, and that's kind of how It's Time just came to me. Okay, it's time for everything right now. It has been manifesting, so I'm really excited, Louise.
Yeah. I mean, I love it. I'm going to take this earring off because the other one fell already. So like I'm sitting up here, so I mean, that's amazing because you're right. And one of the things I always tell when I paint, your torch songs came out of what the moment, it was what you were feeling. And we all have that because it's also healing. Because when I paint, I used to tell people I paint couples when we're doing well. I paint single people when we're not.
Yeah. You know what? And it's funny you should say that. When I first started writing music and the first song, Why Did I Say Yes? I said, okay, now am I really ready to let people know my business at this point? And I was like, okay, yeah, I am. And so, you're right. You write about your life. And so when you listen to the tunes, the ones that are really, really good, that really happened in somebody's life. Having an experience that they've had or know intimately about.
Well, I always tell, whenever I work with people, I always tell them what comes from the heart will touch the heart. It's like, right. You can't just make it up and then expect people to connect with it. People connect with us on an emotional level because we're sharing from an emotional level. Right. And you're right. It's a lot of times you're like, well, do I really want to expose this much of me?
I know, right? Let me think about that for a minute. Okay.
It's like, because I don't know if I really want to tell my business like this.
Exactly. Seriously.
Your business is all out in the street.
Right. We're looking at your art. We're like, so what is this saying here exactly?
I know I have some pieces that do not ever get released. I'll put it that way. Because then people will be like, now, what exactly is that about?
I know. They're like, that was a dark moment, huh?
I know. It's like, yes, and it's a private one. So let me go put that back away.
Right. Don't ask me about that.
Don't ask me about that. Come to your own conclusion with that. I just don't.
I know. People always ask me about that too. Why did I say yes? But I think it resonates with men and women. Everybody, it's about a love affair. You're like, dang, you know how you'll be in love with somebody, and you break. It's just not that person isn't good for you, right? For you, good for you, right? You make it out of the relationship, and then you run into them, and something happens, and you're right back in it. You're like, dang, didn't I just get off this? How did I say yes to this again?
Right. It's like, okay, this didn't work the first time. Girl, you need to be on Living Out Loud. You need to be on Talk Show because this is all about, And that's just it. It's like we end up, and I call it the roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I used to be on this roller coaster, in and out of the same relationship. And then the other crazy part is dating somebody that is exactly like the last guy. It's like
break that mold. But the only way you do is, and I don't know how many people do that, but I think you really just have to do your work,
Mm-hmm.
and because the common denominator in all those situations are
you, and that's it. That's
it. So until you do something different in terms of, I think, kind of working through things, you will keep the same situation.
And I think that's so true. Is because you are working through something, and that's why you keep doing the same thing. I always be like, Lord, can you teach me whatever it is I need to learn so I can stop coming back to this door, because I don't want to go back through it. And that's one thing I always pray if I find myself and I know I'm doing the same thing over and over again. I say, Lord, can you teach me what it is I need to learn really quick right now?
Yeah, exactly right. So
right. So how has because we talked a little bit about like the COVID thing and how COVID, it's like it hasn't stopped you. You're moving forward with everything. But how has like with the racial tensions, the riots, all of these things, has that affected what you do? Have you added elements of that into some of your music or in some of your lyrics? Have you found that you've done some of that? Have you reflected more or during this time? Share a little bit about that.
Yeah, all of the above. So my expression musically, so I'll tell you the different ways I responded. So I had recorded this song "Strange Fruit" a couple of years ago, and so I decided to do a video, and I had it mastered and everything, and I released it. It's kind of deep, but it's on my channel, and my nephew and another producer colleague of his. I work with a lot of millennials.
Right. So now is it on your so they can find it on your website?
Yes, it's on my YouTube channel. Tracye
Okay, all right. That's okay. All right. So and I have that running. So hey, I have that running right down here, your Twitter, all of those things, so that people can go and check those out.
Okay, great. Yeah. So so it has a lot of images of the pain Black people have endured in this country from when we were enslaved to the day. And Strange Fruit is about lynching. And so that was my artistic expression. And the other thing, I had to kind of talk to my white friends. It's not like I have an abundance, but I do have a few. And one of them, I had to call her, and I was like, okay, I think we're friends, but we're about to find out. I'm like, all right, now I'm gonna need you to do something. Out of control. I'm gonna need you to do something. Y'all gonna have to speak up, white people. Okay, I was on that. And I ended up, and she did so well. I'm so proud of her. And we ended up doing a Facebook Live discussion called Conversations with My White Friend. So we did that. And some of her friends joined and my friends joined. And so that's been quite an experience. And then when my music director is white, and he's you know what, he's more liberal than I am. He's like the real left. I'm a little probably moderate. He left, all the way left. And I was like, okay. So I learned even more, about my friends during that period. And then, the other thing is, I have to say, so my day job, I work with, I'm a sales executive at Comcast, and they have done an amazing job. I mean, they immediately gave $100 million to dealing with the issues of that community, and then they have this whole from the CEO. I mean, like a real company-wide diversity and inclusion. I mean, it's like a lot. And it's still, because I'm like, okay, and it's still going strong. So, I'm kind of proud of that. So it's been in a number of different ways, but I kind of got exhausted, because first I was doing the most, And then I'm like, okay, I'm tired of telling y'all what it is. Here's a book. Let me
because everybody want to ask you questions. Well, what
Yeah.
should we do? How should we act? I'm like, you know what?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. And that's why I'm happy. I think that the interesting thing and the Comcast thing was it started with right after the murder of George Floyd. We had these sessions where people would just get on and just say, I've heard the most honesty and people communicating stuff and people listening than I've ever heard before. And so, yes, it was a lot of that. And one thing that was interesting, my boss's boss was like, "Oh, is Tracye all right?" She said, "Yeah, but she tired. She tired of acting like she all right. Okay, no, she ain't all right." And I was like, "Yeah, she's tired of acting like I'm all right." Huh?
It's like, and stop asking me.
Right. No, I'm not all right. I'm not all right. Okay. Now,
because that's the whole thing, is you want to hear that I'm all right. But stop asking me, because a lot of it is not necessarily that I'm not all right, but let me process on my own.
No. I really wasn't all right. I mean, all that. I mean,
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I meant by allowing you to process, because constantly asking me if I'm all right is not helping. It's not. It's not helping. Right. And there's really nothing that you can do to help. And that was the thing. It's like everybody's trying to reach out. I remember not this year, not during the riots, but when Trump was elected president in whatever year, I don't know, I can't remember. And because I live in Fort Collins, so I got a whole lot of white friends, a whole lot. And I remember people coming up to me with their little pins on, because they were wearing their little safety pins that said "I'm safe." And
I hadn't heard that one.
Right. They had little safety pins on, and the safety pin.
Okay.
Right. The safety pin meant that they were safe for us. For us to.
What was that? What was that?
And so this is after Trump was elected. And so we would get approached, and I don't think they understood how weird that was, to let you know that they were safe for, this is and so one time me and my boys, we were in the store, and this woman came out of nowhere, and she's like, she's in one of those little cart things. She just rolls up on us, and she's like, "I will protect you and I will defend you. I'm here for you." And my boys are like, "What is going on here, Mom?" And I said, people want to do things, but they really don't understand how weird that is.
But I kind of, I'm going to need you to just kind of vote for policy. Just vote right. Vote for people that can enact policy that doesn't get police officers off the hook for killing people.
And that's the whole thing. But it was just for us. It was just really weird. And just in the same thing going on now, it's like people want to help, but sometimes the way I literally had to go on Facebook and say, let me just share this with you, all of my white friends. I love you, but going up to Black people with your pen is weird. And letting them know that you're safe is weird. And then coming out and saying things and hugging them at random, is weird.
It's kind of sweet, though. It's kind of sweet in a way.
No. It's sweet, but it's weird.
It's just a little weird. It's a little weird. I'm like, okay, I appreciate the thought, but this is what I really need you to do.
And that's exactly how I was, because I honestly didn't understand the threat that everybody else was having. You know what I'm saying? It's like to them, when he was elected, it was like an abolish of, there was a threat. And so they were so they wanted to hug you because they were,
They were right. They were right. They're like, oh, we kind of messed up here. And but you know what? Hey, this. I see the reckoning and the evolution. We had to get to this point.
And that's just it. And that's what I share with people. It's there. I always tell people there's a time and season for everything. Yeah. It's what we do with it that matters. Yeah. It's just like how we take advantage of the situation, how we take advantage of our lives and what we're going to do with it. No one has control over what you do with your life. So take advantage of it and then you move forward. So let's get another song in. We're going to get another song. I'm going to try to squeeze as many songs in as I can.
Okay, that's fine.
So we're going to get another song in. I hope you guys are enjoying this. We are here, Beauty of Blackness Fine Art Show. We are here, Black Art and Culture. We're here every Saturday at 6:00 p.m. Definitely check us out. Come through. We're going to bring Miss Tracye back. Go to her website. Check out all of her, Instagram. She is on everything that you could imagine. At Spotify, iTunes. She is on all of it. Check her out. Grab her name. And, I'm calling you Tracye because I refuse to mess up your last name again.
That's fine. Eileen.
Eileen. I know. It's a beautiful name, Eileen. And I got this, I got it. You know how you get it stuck in your head and then you just say it wrong. So Eileen is a beautiful name. So I'm going to bring Miss Eileen back so she can serenade you all with her beautiful, sultry, soulful, jazzy voice. So here you go. Back with Miss Eileen.
All right. Hey, let's do a tune off the Why Did I Say Yes album. And how about we do this tune is by Gil Scott-Heron. Home is where the hatred is. Junkie walking through the twilight. I'm on my way home. I left 3 days ago, but no one seems to know I'm gone. Home is where the hatred is. Home is filled with pain, and it might not be such a bad idea if I never went home again. Stand as far from me as you can and ask me why, Hang on to your rosary beach, close your eyes and watch me die. You keep saying kick it, quit it, Lord, but did you ever try? To turn your sick soul inside out so that the world can watch you die. Home is where I live inside white powder dreams. Home was once an empty vacuum that's filled now with my silent screams. Home is where the needle marks trying to heal my broken heart. And it might not be such a bad idea if I never went home again. Stand as far away from me as you can and ask me why. Hang on to your rosary beach, close your eyes eyes and watch me die. You keep saying, kick it, quit it, love it, did you ever try? To turn your six out inside out, so that the world can watch you die. That's the PTR band, my band. This track was recorded live at Buddy Guy's Legends in Chicago. Stand as far away from me as you can and ask me why. Ask me why. Hang on to your rosary beads, close your eyes and watch me die. You keep saying, kick it, quit it, love, but did you ever try? To tear your six out inside out, so that the world can watch you die. You keep saying, kick it, you keep saying, quit it. Walking down the street, starry-eyed, looking at the sky, smoky-eyed, searching for the place, weary-eyed, looking for the world, teary-eyed. Don't you know that it's true, that for me and for you, the world is a ghetto? Don't you know that it's true, that for me and for you, the world is a ghetto? Don't you know, baby, that it's true, that for me and for you, the world is a ghetto? Don't you know that it's true, that for me and for you, the world is a ghetto?
Ooh, wow. Okay, I remember to turn my mic on this time. Mute myself. I was over here wooing, and I'm like, okay, she can't hear me. And that you are, I love your sound and your voice and just everything. You know, you pour your heart and soul in it. How did you go about developing your own individual style?
That was part of the work I did at the Bloom School of Jazz, and you know, it's so funny. And I took a couple of small classes before I went in on the year-long class going from amateur to professional. And literally I said, okay, I could buy a car, I could take this class. So I was like, all right now. So I decided to take the class, and I promised God I wouldn't quit until he said no. So I'm still here.
Wow.
But in that class, I remember I was thinking I'm jamming and everything. And they're like, okay, what I'm gonna need you to do is take a walk down a dark alley and find your voice. Because that's not it. And it's a process. You're like, what? Excuse me? And what
Look,
you find
I can sing. I've always sang.
now, wait a minute. But what I found out is that authentic voice that's yours is actually that's revealing too, because it's actually you. And you don't realize that you're actually not, you're probably trying to sound like somebody. And when you try to sound like somebody, everyone knows you're trying to sound like somebody. You sound just like, well, you know you're sounding like yourself when they don't say that to you. I can't pinpoint who you sound like. And I'm like, okay, good, And so that was kind of that. And then over the years, I also took vocal training with Miss Lindia. Because you got to invest in your craft. That's the other thing. You got to invest in that. And she's an amazing vocal coach. She's from Chicago, but she lives in LA now, and she works for Patrice Rushen. I think it's UCLA. Or maybe that one or the other big LA, California campus. But anyway, I think it's UCLA. But anyway, and she does a lot of vocal coaching at the Grammys. And I mean, she's amazing. And I took her boot camp, and I found another element of my voice just working with her.
Wow.
And learned that the proper way to sing, your body is like a wind instrument, and the wind pushes up from the frame in the same way as when you bring wind up from your body to play a flute or a saxophone. That's really how your voice should go. And then it kind of fills this area in your nasal cavity. You come out with a nice tone. So that's another thing you kind of discover as you're working on your craft.
Wow. That's amazing. That it's like at that point in your life decided, you know what, I'm going to, because it's not just investing in your craft, it's investing in yourself. And you decided, hey, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and invest in myself. And it's like to become the person that I've always wanted to be.
Yeah. And to live the life I wanted to live. And the funny thing is, you know how that song, last night a DJ saved my life. You know that song? I feel like you hear that, and then you hear one of my favorite shows is Chopped. And people are like, oh, I was going down the tubes and then I found cooking. I feel like that about music. I can't say I was going down the tubes, but I feel like that just created music in I don't know, music, it made all the difference in my life in so many major ways. So I think that just like in that cooking show, that's why I think people really need to take a minute and find out, what that thing is in you. And I think a lot of people don't know what it is. Well, I don't know what it is, because you're giving yourself away to your kids, your spouse, your family, your whoever, and not really thinking about you and loving on yourself. So I think that's one of the most loving things you can do for yourself. And maybe even think about when you were a child, the thing that, brought you joy, whatever that is, and then kind of lean into it. And the other thing, the scripture that says your gift will make room for you. It does. God and the universe, it makes room.
Oh yeah. And that's it's great that you brought that out, because it does. It's like a lot of times we're afraid to step out, and God clearly has given you an amazing gift. And you were, because a lot of times it's like God gives us the gifts. It's that whole faith without works is dead.
Yeah.
And so you had the faith to go, but then you put that work behind it. You went and found the teachers, because even though you could sing, you found out that it still took some work. You found out that, hey, you know what? I can sing, but in order for me to be where I want to be, and that's one of the things that we talked about when you were doing your photo shoot and when you were doing your makeup and all that. It's like, I could sing, but in order for me to get to the level of professionalism that I want to be, this is what I have to do. So
Yeah.
before because I know we're gonna leave out, and I want to end with a song. So I don't want to end with all this talking. But share a little bit about that, because you get a lot of these young people coming up, and it's like, I can sing and I can do this and I can do that, but they're not willing to put any money behind them. They're not willing to do anything about that. So share a little bit about that for me.
Yeah, I think that it is, I guess it's almost like, well, it's like sports. There are a lot of people that can play basketball, but everybody's not going to the NBA, right? The good thing about music is there's more avenues, but you still have to put in the work. You have to develop the craft. And then you're right. One of the things, a thing for me that I realized, and this was even when I was taking that year-long class at the Bloom School of Jazz, one of the classes was on her stagecraft. And we had an actress come in, and I recognized her. I was like, oh, I seen you on Charmed, and oh, yeah, I saw you here. But she was really lovely. And she said, if somebody bought your record or they're listening to you on the radio, that's one thing. But if they paid money to come and see you, they want to see something, okay? They don't just want to hear. They want to see something,
Right.
And so, and I know you've noticed that many singers, a lot of times, the industry requires that you be in shape, that you're glamorous, or whatever your brand, your image. If that's the kind of music, if you're a soul or a jazz singer, and maybe if you rock, maybe not so much, but if you soul or you R&B or you just, they want to see something, which is why you see a lot of singers. Whether it's Angie Stone, Jennifer Holliday, Jennifer Hudson, they'll kind of start out kind of one way, and then they'll do the work. But if you miss your moment, it's hard to get back. I mean, probably J Hood is probably one of the few, And so I it's actually one of the things that makes me work out, stay in shape, because I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna miss my opportunity when it comes.
Right, because you're right. It's hard to go back. It's hard to go back. It's like when people see that, they're like, okay, that. Yeah. And now you're like, but look at, I'm ready, and they're like, well, somebody already came and took that spot. They took the spot.
Your moment has, because there's so many people trying to get it, so you need to be ready. So it's the investment, right? That investment in your look, which is your brand, which goes along with your voice, and then even developing your voice and working on that, it can always be better. That never stops. I need some coaching right now. I got some things I want to work on.
I better go and get me some coaching. I need some coaching.
Hey, I'm a fan. I'm like whatever, all kind of life issues. Get coaching in, so that you can, get over that hump. And, so it's just the I think the investment, and I think if you really are leaning in and doing the work, the doors I think will open for you.
Yeah.
And of course, faith is a part.
Right. I totally believe that, because and you're seeing the difference every day in what you're doing. Because basically, I mean, from the time I met you till now, there is such an amazing air of confidence. And I'm not saying you weren't confident then, because you were, but from then till now, you are a totally different person. You are, you are a totally different. And I follow you. I mean, when I follow people, or, if I invite somebody to do an interview or something like that, it's because you've captivated me in some way. And that's basically what I could truly say about following you. When you start doing the parlor thing, it was over for me. I said, okay, this girl then stepped into, and she then welcomed you into her parlor. And she is serenading folk, okay? And share with people when this is, because I want them to go on and go into the party.
Every Friday at 7 p.m. for 30 minutes, and it's on Facebook and Instagram Live. Every Friday.
Go to the parlor. You got her down here. It's all running down here, so definitely.
Yeah. There it goes, right there. If you forget, the website is TracyeEileen.com, and the shows are listed there too.
Yeah, it'll have all of that listed because I do. I mean, when I clicked on Instagram one day, and I think you had on a cream or something, and you were sitting there and you were like, "Hello." I was like, I said, "Sister girl, okay, you have gone to a whole nother level, okay." And so,
Thank you.
to be able to walk out in that kind of confidence and be that, because it's like I sing, but you walk in a total air of confidence, and like you said, that confidence also comes with that professional, that getting the training, getting all of this stuff, getting the coaching, getting putting all of those things together. That confidence come with that.
It does. I mean, it's the more you can perform, the more you will be confident in the performance, and you can, improve the craft. And I've been blessed to open up for some great people, Davey Face and Stylistics and Mary Wilson and Buddy Guy. And so I think each time when you're on a bigger stage, on different stages, and it just you just want to. I think you get better. And it is working on yourself. It's knowing that you can always get better, because guess what? Guitar. Every musician is always practicing. And as a singer, you have to do that too.
Right. So, well, thank you so much. I have so enjoyed having you here. I know we had some serious hiccups in the beginning, but you know what? Hiccups. It didn't take away from your beauty or your singing. So that part doesn't matter. We're going to end on a really fun note with having you sing us out, and just hang out in the green room with me, because I love to chat a little bit afterwards. So we're going to head out with Miss Tracye. I see Eileen. There we go. Miss Tracye Eileen. We're going to head out with Miss Tracye. Girl, there are days that my brain is just not functioning properly.
Okay, really.
So we're going to head out with Miss Tracye Eileen singing us out, just serenading us, smooth jazzing us on out. And just know that go and check her out, TracyeEileen.com. You can find her on Facebook, YouTube. You can find her on Instagram. Trust me, you definitely want to go into the parlor with her on Friday, because it is well worth it. Like her pages, follow her, subscribe to her. Also, same thing here. And I'm going to bring her back, Miss Eileen.
All right. So I'm gonna say our last tune. I'll do the song that is charting right now and being played around the country, and it is Now That We're Here. Running home, can't wait to pack my bag. All day long, the hours seem to drag. Can't stop thinking as the time draws near, how much I wanna see you all the time, my dear. Now that we're here, let's make it last always, like forever and a day. Now that we're here, let's not ever lose this love, never. For so long we seem to drift apart. Time and space prove too hard on our hearts, but destiny had something else to say. And now we're here together, babe. Now that we're here, let's make it last always, like forever and a day. Now that we're way. Let's not ever lose this love. Never. Not that way. Ooh, let's make it last, baby. Not that way. Let's not ever lose this love. When you're not here, I long for your touch. I realize our love can withstand so much. A love like ours is so hard to find. One who adores your body and your mind. Now that we're here, let's make it last always, like forever and a day. Now that we're here, now that we're here, let's not ever lose this love. Never. Now. Ooh, let's make it last, baby. Now, baby, never. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
All right, that was absolutely beautiful. And that's the chart. That's the one that's at the top of the charts right now.
Yeah, that one is being played across the country and in the I don't remember all the European countries. The UK, there's actually it's a somewhat of a house mix. Tom Glide is a very popular producer in the UK, and I called it a house mix. I could have said Tom Glide remix, but that's the one that it's a really nice kind of got a house mix. It's nice. So that's the one that's that stayed at the charts. It almost went to number one. It was at 2 for a while. But this version is the one that's playing in the States.
Oh, wow. It's beautiful. And congratulations. I think that's absolutely phenomenal. Any last words? Sending people off, things you might want to tell everybody.
Please download my music.
There you go.
It's available wherever you like to buy it, Amazon, iTunes, if you stream on Spotify, Pandora, or wherever you get your music, it's there. You can get it off my website too, TracyeEileen.com. And as Louise mentioned, I do Meet Me in My Parlor every Friday at 7. And then on Instagram on Mondays at some point, I like pop on and do a Music Monday at some point during the day. And I just sing a quick little song there. So yeah, please follow me on Instagram and on my Facebook fan page and come on this journey with me. I do want to say one thing, Louise. I started this thing called Redefining 60. And so now that I'm 59 and I have this whole year to redefine what 60 looks like. And I do this little thing called Tracye's Tips. It's on Instagram. And I just share things with people, about what I do. If you're interested, I feel like I'm living my best life right now. So
there you go. Tracye will be back with us on Living Out Loud on Tuesday morning. We're going to definitely have Tracye up at some point because you are definitely living your best life and you're living out loud more so than most people.
Did you take that from that movie? It's one of my favorite movies. Have you seen it? Living Out Loud?
No, I didn't. When I pushed in Living Out Loud, a movie came up and I thought, what movie is this?
That movie's good. You should watch that movie.
I'll have to watch it because I it's like I was talking with another girlfriend some while ago, and we were talking about how our kids, because our kids are loud, and how they just live out loud. They're just, but taking it to another level where it's not just being loud, but living your life and out loud, and not accepting what society has predicted or has dictated to you, and saying, you know what, I'm just going to be me. And I'm not going to settle for anything less. And I'm not going to follow society's concept of who I'm supposed to be. I'm just going to be who I am.
Right. And that's the movie. You got to watch it. You're going to love this movie.
Okay. I'm going to watch it because I have seen it pop up since whenever I put in Living Out Loud, it pops up. So I'm like, what is this movie about? So I'm going to watch it because you just told me to. So
you won't be sorry.
All right. Okay. I didn't think I would. So hang out and we're going to chat after. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and joining in, staying while we had our technical difficulties. We are so blessed to have you hanging out with us and just being a part of this journey with us. We are the Beauty of Blackness Fine Art Show, and this is our Black art and culture. Definitely go and check us out at the Beauty of Blackness Fine Art Show. .com. We have all of the everybody that's coming up in November. We have some really exciting people coming up in November. You definitely want to check them out. So go to the website, the Beauty of Blackness Fine Art Show.com, and check those things out. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, wherever there's a streaming channel, you'll find us. So go through there and check us out. We want to thank Miss Tracye for being here with us. She was phenomenal. Definitely go and check out her page. Go and check out her website, TracyeEileen.com. I got it right. Go and check her out on Instagram. You definitely, if you love jazz music and smooth jazz, beautiful woman, go to the parlor room. Go to the parlor room, and I mean it. So then also subscribe to our channel. Like us on Facebook, Beauty of Blackness Fine Art Show. Follow us on Instagram. All of that. Thank you so much. We are so glad that you joined in with us and hung out with us. And we will see you next Saturday, same time. What is it? Same bat time and same bat channel. So we will see you next week, next Saturday, for an exciting interview. I think we got Mr. Kevin Wack Williams coming up next week. So that one you definitely do not want to miss. See you later. Oh, me again.